TV. It is Monday night, 9 p.m. on the East Coast, and we have got an exciting evening in store tonight, starting with a first-time guest. Hey, look, we are recording, we are streaming on multiple platforms. We have a bumper running. We've got chat room folks just waiting to see the program. So let's switch to Studio 8 in... Well, good evening. Welcome to pjnet.tv. I'm Coach Prasick, and I'm glad to be right here. It is such a joy, such an honor, such a privilege. I'm the luckiest guy in the world. Not because I sit here because of who I'm married to, but anyway. If you are watching this on social media, I am so glad that you're there. And it's a real pleasure to have you come along. We do want to invite you. You can watch the same thing, but you can go join some friends that are waiting to welcome you at, well, pjnet.tv. Just use a desktop or a laptop best, okay? Don't use your phone. And you can watch the same thing while we're over there and have fun with have fellowship with all the wonderful people hanging out there waiting to see you. Now, why are you here? Because you may have gotten word that we have a first-time guest. First-time guests are always fun because, they don't know what's going to happen and they get nervous, and it's kind of fun to watch them. No, it's, you may remember not long ago, Diane Virginia Cuneo was here. She heads up Vine Words, okay? Well, she said they're bringing on some new people, and guess what? We get to introduce one of those new persons right now. Here she is, Brandie Muncaster, all the way from, well, wherever it is. She's in the Eastern Time Zone, I know that. Brandie, it is so good. I got to brag on, well, God, I guess. It's my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, that first, you made this video. And folks, we are going to show the video directly after the program. In fact, we're going to shorten the program to make sure that you can watch her testimonial video. Brandie, tell us about the making of that video and the circumstances that led up to that.
Oh, sure. Well, I was a part of a church a while ago, and I had coffee with someone and told them my story. And during that time, the church was actually taping people's stories and showing them on Sunday mornings, and then having them sort of fit along with the message that they were doing every Sunday morning. So they reached out to me and asked if I'd be willing to share my testimony with them. And I said yes. And that's how we got the video.
Were you a little scared?
Oh, yes. I was definitely nervous.
In that video, you summarize a series of dark circumstances and events in your life. And looking at your face now and the glow and the smile, I don't get the impression of someone who's having a rough time right now, but it hasn't always been that way, has it?
Right. That's very true. Mm-hmm.
Tell us the short version of where your life was before Christ got in the center of the throne there.
Well, to make a very long story short, I grew up in a family where my dad was an alcoholic and drug addict, and he cheated on my mom, and they got divorced actually when I was pretty young, around 2 years old. And I grew up just carrying a lot of baggage. And I was, verbally abused and struggled with eating disorders. And in high school, I numbed my pain by drinking alcohol and drug abuse. And then when I turned 18 years old, I was actually kicked out of the house. And I struggled for about 5 years, where I struggled to have food to eat. And there were times where I slept in my car. There's people that also took me in and let me stay in a room when I needed to, or there's times when I rented a room, but I went through a time of just real struggle during a 5-year period. And during that time, I also wanted to take my life, but God intervened, and he's done so much to help me. When I was about 26 years old, I actually found my dad. I grew up not knowing him, but I found him using a private investigator, and we got to meet. And then when I was about, I would say 4 years ago, he was found in a hotel room alone with cocaine everywhere, dead. And it was right after that I actually, God sent people into my life to really help me. And I've been going through about 4 years of very intense just therapy and inner healing and coaching and all of that. And it's just been amazing, the transformation that God's done in my life.
That's great. Now, folks, the complete story will follow at about a quarter after. We're going to wrap up early. It's a 10-minute video where she gives her entire testimony in more detail. And so I can't wait to see that. But the funny thing is, and this is blowing me away, I still haven't gotten over it. The church helps you produce this video and you put it on Facebook. Did you even know Diane Cuneo at that point?
No. Mm-mm.
Never heard of her.
Nope.
You put this
Never
video
heard of
out,
her.
and all of a sudden, you're contacted.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened?
It was just a God thing. I've been writing a lot because God kind of made me a writer, and so I started a blog and started writing a lot. And I think Diane saw my video one day and she contacted me and said, "Do you ever write devotionals?" And I said, "No, I have no idea how to write a devotional. I have no experience. I don't know what I'm doing." And she said, "You have a message. And I just wanted to invite you to see if you would like to be a part of my team. It's called Vine Words. And I would like to take you and just help you and teach you how to write devotionals if you're interested." And I knew that it was the Lord sort of calling me into a new place to teach me something new that I hadn't done before. And so I'm really excited. Yeah, I jumped right on board with her, and I'm really excited to see where God takes us.
So you didn't know Diane, you didn't know Vine Words, you simply responded to a request to film your testimonial, and Diane sees it, and out of the clear blue, doors open.
Yep.
Now, how long ago was that exactly, or approximately?
Mark, I think it was probably about 2 weeks ago. So it hasn't been long.
Okay. Now, then, Diane, as you know, appeared recently on our program and sharing some God things that are happening in her life. So, you know, part of my job, I mean, I'm interested, but even if I weren't, it's part of my job to keep track of the interaction with the material that we put out there. And I noticed somebody who I'd never heard of had made a comment, and, well, that would be, well, you. and I just out of the clear blue, I said, you know, and I had not seen the video, and I just sent a message to Brandie and said, you know, would you like to appear on PJNet? Well, you know, so a few days later, well, here you are. And It's amazing. Now, Vine Words, what are you going to be doing, and when are you going to be doing it with Vine Words?
Well, Diane asked me if I could be a writer, contributing writer for 2021. So I think she's going to take about 12 of my submissions and use them throughout the year. So I'm really excited about that.
About once a month. Okay. Well, you are joining a team, and it's rare that I see a team of people that get together and support one another and are so active in their support of one another. And a group is one thing, folks. A group is people who occupy the same space at the same time. Teams, however, are a group, but the difference being that they are a group with a purpose, and where you see a team, you see a coach. Somebody's driving this thing, and I am just thrilled that no. And I meant to say earlier, if you want to know more about Brandie, which you're learning right now, she can be found on the web at brandiejmuncaster.com. I've put it there on the screen for you. And I don't know, how long's your website been up, Brandie?
I launched it right around the beginning of this year.
Oh, okay.
So 2020.
Well, as websites go, it's pretty new then.
Mm-hmm.
And when people get there, they'll see your blog. Is your video on that website? I believe it is.
It's not. I haven't put it up there yet.
Don't worry,
Someday.
folks. You're gonna see the video. Before we switch over to the video, we've got about 3 minutes. Brandie, one reason I guess I wonder if Diane at Vinewords even knew that you have a published book, Garden Tales, A Seed's Story. Now, from the looks of it, this is a children's book.
Yes, it is.
I kind of figured that. What's the deal with a seed? Are you a gardener?
Not exactly. I love growing flowers and having them in my yard, but I'm not a hardcore gardener at all.
Right. I as far as gardening goes, I'm expert on any vegetation that thrives on neglect. If it doesn't thrive on neglect, it will soon be dead under my care. But so you're not an avid gardener, yet your book kind of smacks of gardening. What's the deal there?
Well, the Lord kind of gave it to me. He gave me the idea because it kind of mirrors like my life almost, where if you think about a seed and it's planted in the dirt, there's not a lot that distinguishes it from its surroundings. It's round and dark and it looks a little bit like dirt. So it's about this seed named Sally who grew up thinking that she was a piece of dirt. She had no idea who she was and what she was made for. And so she grew up, and she even asked like her friends, like the Max the Mole came by, and she said, "Hey, I'm trying to figure out who I am and what I was made for. Can you help me? I'm pretty sure I'm a piece of dirt, but I just want to get your opinion." And he says, he takes a look at her and he goes, "Yeah, I would say that you're definitely a piece of dirt. I mean, you look pretty much like dirt." And he keeps on going, and then time goes by and she grows, and one day she has an encounter with a gardener, and he makes a comment about how beautiful she is, and she was really confused and taken aback of why he was saying that. And she's like, "No, don't you see I'm just a piece of dirt?" And he's like, "No, you're a beautiful flower." And so he takes a picture of her so she could see who she was and see how beautiful she is. And she looks at that picture and she just is in awe and shock of what she sees. And then at that time, it's when she starts unraveling the lies that she had believed about herself, that she was a piece of dirt. And then she started just grabbing a hold of the truth of who the gardener said she was a beautiful flower. And then it sort of transitions into her going to all the other flowers in the garden, making sure that they knew that they were beautiful flowers and not a piece of dirt. So the whole book is really a story about identity and purpose.
Wow. Even as an adult, I can understand the analogy here. Anyway, so, well,
Yeah.
Brandie, listen, it's a quarter after, folks. Those of you who are in the pjnet.tv chat room, you are in for a real treat. You're going to see the testimonial video that we've been referring to. If you are not at the chat room right now, I encourage you to hurry and go to pjnet.tv, where it is about to be played. It will not be played as part of this program for time considerations. So I hope that you'll do that. Folks, it is time to wrap up, and Brandie, thank you so much for sharing. Even though it's been just a few minutes, we've had a lot of fun together, and I appreciate your ministry and your message, and I can't wait to see and hear more with your
Thanks so
relationship
much.
with Vine Words.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me, Mark.
You are a champ. Thank you, Brandie. Much fun, folks. We're going to get to that testimonial video. There you see, hi, the view of the eagle's nest. She can't see that. She's talking to me. There you see the view of the eagle's nest, and we are going to switch over to that video at the bottom of the hour. Don't leave. Don't touch it. Casper, every Monday night, we'll have Casper's Take right here. Before I leave, I would like to have you please consider asking yourself two very important questions. First, what is the boldest thing that you have ever done for Jesus Christ? And secondly, when was that? Folks, as we walk out our faith, we are going to be challenged, and we need to be bold. So I certainly hope that none of us would ever be satisfied with either answer we come up with to those two questions.